From bubblegum pink lakes to rainbow-hued hot springs and glowing neon blue bays, there are many places on our planet that look like they might belong to some alien world. Some are pure, natural optical illusions. Others are shaped by extreme geological forces, and a few remain so remote that most people have never even heard of them. So join us as we explore 15 unseen wonders of our world that will leave you speechless. And trust us, once you see them, you'll forget everything you thought you knew about Earth. Let's start off this mind-chilling journey with Number 15. Fjaðrárgljúfur, Iceland. We won't blame you if you can't pronounce this Icelandic marvel, but trust us, the view speaks for itself, and we are not kidding at all. Carved by glacial meltwater over 9,000 years ago, Fjaðrárgljúfur remained one of Iceland's best-kept secrets until Justin Bieber's 2015 music video put it on the global map. Suddenly, this breathtaking canyon was swamped with visitors, leading Iceland's environmental agency to temporarily close it in 2019 to protect its fragile ecosystem. Now, the country is doubling down on conservation efforts, ensuring future travelers can enjoy its jaw-dropping beauty responsibly. Once reopened, you'll be able to witness its towering 300-foot cliffs that snake through the landscape like something out of a fantasy novel. Whether you're a nature lover or just chasing epic views, this is one spot worth waiting for. And until then, you can scroll through Instagram photos and dream about the day you'll stand there in awe. Seriously, Fjaðrárgljúfur looks like something straight out of an Avatar movie, except it's 100% real. Number 14. Tunnel of Love, Ukraine. Most train tracks are industrial, gray, and lifeless, not exactly the stuff of Natsu no fairy tales. But Ukraine's Tunnel of Love is a bit unique and more different. Just outside the small town of Kawah, this 2-mile stretch of railway is completely enveloped by lush green trees, forming a natural tunnel so enchanting it looks like something out of a fantasy novel. Originally designed as a hidden military transport route during the Cold War, nature slowly reclaimed the tracks, turning them into a romantic pathway where trains now pass only a few times a day. The thick canopy shifts with the seasons, from bright green in summer to fiery reds and oranges in autumn, making every visit a different experience. Legend has it that couples who walk through the tunnel and make a wish will see their love last forever. Whether you believe in the magic or not, there's no denying that this hidden gem is one of the most picturesque spots in the world. Number 13. Mosquito Bay, Puerto Rico. If you ever want to witness real-life magic, Mosquito Bay on the Puerto Rican island of Vieques is the place to go. It holds the Guinness World Record as the brightest bioluminescent bay on Earth, glowing a surreal electric blue every time the water is disturbed. The secret behind this phenomenon? Millions of microscopic organisms called dinoflagellates that absorb sunlight during the day and release it at night. When agitated, whether by a boat, a swimmer, or even a hand, they light up like a sea of liquid stars. For the most intense glow, visit during a new moon, when the darkness amplifies the neon effect. Kayaking through the bay feels like drifting through a scene from Avatar, with every paddle stroke leaving a shimmering trail. Due to strict conservation efforts, Mosquito Bay remains untouched by pollution, people, and psychopaths. Number 12. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, Brazil. Brazil's Lençóis Maranhenses National Park is like something straight out of a dream, a vast desert landscape dotted with thousands of turquoise lagoons. But here's the twist. This desert isn't dry year-round. During the rainy season, fresh rainwater collects between the towering sand dunes, forming stunning pools that can grow up to 300 feet wide and 10 feet deep. The lagoons only last a few months before they evaporate, making their appearance a rare and fleeting wonder. Some even harbor fish, carried in by birds or trapped from previous floods. Despite its desert-like look, this region gets heavy rainfall, which creates this surreal contrast of rolling white dunes and crystal-clear waters. The best time to visit is between June and September, when the lagoons are at their peak. Whether you're swimming, kayaking, or simply soaking in the otherworldly scenery, Lençóis Maranhenses proves that nature always finds a way to surprise us. Number 11. Kawah Ijen Acid Lake, Indonesia. Nestled inside the Kawah Ijen volcano on Java Island, this electric turquoise lake is both mesmerizing and deadly. It's the most acidic lake in the world, with a pH close to 0, meaning it can dissolve metal. The lake's striking color comes from dissolved hydrochloric and sulfuric acids, giving it an almost unreal glow. Adding to its eerie beauty, the volcano emits blue flames at night, caused by ignited sulfuric gases escaping from the crater. The sight is rare, making Kawah Ijen one of the most surreal places on Earth. Despite the toxic environment, local miners brave the extreme conditions daily to extract sulfur from the crater, carrying loads of up to 200 pounds on their backs. Visitors can hike up to the rim for an unforgettable view, but don't get too close. The fumes are hazardous, and the water is anything but inviting. It's nature's beauty and power on full display. Number 10. Sørvágsvatn, Faroe Islands. At first glance, Sørvágsvatn seems to defy gravity. It's known as the lake above the ocean because from the right angle, it appears to float above the sea. But it's actually a clever optical illusion. The lake sits on a high plateau overlooking the Atlantic, and a sharp cliff drop creates the mind-bending effect that tricks the eye into seeing it as suspended in mid-air. Adding to the drama, Bus dalla Fossur waterfall pours from the lake's edge into the ocean below, reinforcing the illusion. While the effect is striking from afar, hiking up to the cliffs offers a completely different perspective, revealing that the lake is, in fact, safely nestled on solid ground. Sørvágsvatn is one of the most famous natural wonders of the Faroe Islands, a remote archipelago between Iceland and Norway. Whether you're viewing it from a distance or standing at its edge, it's a reminder of how perspective changes everything. Number 9. Gobustan Mud Volcanoes, Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is home to nearly half of the world's mud volcanoes, and the Gobustan region holds some of the most dramatic. Unlike traditional lava-spewing volcanoes, these craters erupt with thick, bubbling mud, driven by methane gas pushing its way to the surface. The mud is surprisingly cool, around 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and rich in minerals, making it a hotspot for curious travelers and even spa enthusiasts who believe in its healing properties. Some eruptions are small, releasing gurgling pools of thick clay, while others send columns of mud hundreds of feet into the air. The eerie, moon-like landscape has fascinated scientists and visitors alike, even drawing comparisons to Mars's terrain. In fact, some researchers believe these mud volcanoes might offer clues about subsurface life on other planets. Whether you're here for the science or just to witness Earth's strangest eruptions, Gobustan's mud volcanoes are a must-see. Number 8. The Liquid Rainbow, Colombia. Hidden deep in Colombia's Serranía de la Macarena National Park, Caño Cristales isn't just a river, it's nature's own masterpiece. Known as the Liquid Rainbow, this stunning waterway explodes into surreal shades of red, yellow, green, blue, and black. But it's not magic. It's the work of Macarenia clavigera, an aquatic plant that transforms the riverbed into a living painting. The river's crystal-clear waters allow these vibrant hues to shine, especially during the wet season when the plants bloom in full force. Unlike other colorful bodies of water that rely on minerals or algae, Caño Cristales' breathtaking display is entirely plant-driven. The riverbed, shaped by years of erosion, creates small pools and waterfalls, adding to its dreamlike effect. Despite its beauty, Caño Cristales remains relatively untouched due to its remote location. Number 7. The Eye of the Sahara, Mauritania. At ground level, the Richat structure might seem like nothing more than a vast rocky landscape in the middle of the Sahara. But from space, it's a different story. Also known as the Eye of the Sahara, this 28-mile-wide formation looks like a giant bullseye carved into the desert, puzzling scientists and astronauts alike. Originally thought to be an impact crater, researchers now believe it's an ancient geological dome, slowly eroded over 100 million years to reveal its distinct circular layers. The eye-shaped structure is made up of sedimentary and igneous rock, each layer revealing a different chapter of Earth's history. Despite its massive size, the Richat structure remains surprisingly difficult to spot from the ground, blending seamlessly into the desert's vastness. But from above, it's one of the most mesmerizing natural formations on Earth, a reminder of how much we still don't know about our planet's past. Number 6. Underwater waterfall, Mauritius. Mauritius is home to some of the most stunning beaches on Earth, but its biggest mind-bender isn't the sand or the sea. It's the illusion of an underwater waterfall. Located off the island's southwest coast, this breathtaking phenomenon looks like a deep-sea vortex swallowing the ocean. But here's the truth. It's not actually water plunging into an abyss. The island sits on an underwater plateau that dramatically drops off about 2.5 miles deep, and strong ocean currents push light-colored sand and silt over the edge, creating a mesmerizing visual trick. Captured in countless drone shots, this natural illusion has turned into one of the world's most unique bucket list destinations. The best way to witness it? A helicopter ride, where you can fully appreciate the stunning contrast of turquoise and deep blue. While the illusion is stationary, the shifting sands make every viewing slightly different. So even if you visit more than once, you'll never see the same waterfall twice. Number 5. Glowworm Caves, New Zealand. New Zealand is packed with cinematic landscapes, but beneath its forests lies something truly magical, the Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Deep within these limestone caverns, thousands of glowworms create a dazzling star-like display on the cave ceilings. And no, it's not just for show. These tiny bioluminescent creatures use their glow to attract prey, like natural neon traps hanging from silk threads. Locally called titiwai, meaning projected over water, these glowworms are exclusive to New Zealand, making this phenomenon even more special. The glow results from a reaction between an enzyme called luciferase and the molecule luciferin, basically nature's own light bulb tech. A guided boat ride takes you through the underground river, where you'll drift in near silence under this hypnotic glow. It feels otherworldly, like floating through a galaxy. The caves have been open to visitors since the late 19th century, and even with modern science explaining the glow, the magic of the experience remains unchanged. Number 4. Tianzi Mountains, China. China's Tianzi Mountains look so unreal, they might as well be straight out of a fantasy novel or an Avatar movie. Towering sandstone pillars rise thousands of feet into the misty sky, creating an ethereal floating mountain effect. Located in Hunan Province's Zhangjiajie National Forest Park, these formations have been shaped over 400 million years by natural erosion, and today, they stand as one of the most jaw-dropping landscapes on Earth. The name Tianzi means Son of Heaven, inspired by a farmer-turned-rebel leader who claimed the title centuries ago. Walking through the area feels like stepping into another world, especially when the mountains are draped in fog, making them appear to float. A cable car ride offers stunning panoramic views, but if you prefer an adventure, there are hiking trails winding through the lush forest below. No matter how you explore, one thing's for sure: this is nature's way of showing off. Number 3. Grand Prismatic Spring, Wyoming, USA. A hot spring that looks like a giant liquid rainbow? Welcome to Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone National Park, the largest and most colorful hot spring in the U.S. This massive geothermal wonder spans about 370 feet across, bigger than a football field, and plunges 160 feet deep. But what makes it truly mesmerizing are its vibrant rings of blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, created by heat-loving bacteria thriving in its scorching waters. The spring is constantly fed by an underground heat source, pumping out 560 gallons of near-boiling water per minute. And while the deep blue center remains too hot for life, the outer edges cool enough for thermophiles, microscopic organisms that give the spring its surreal hues. The colors even change with the seasons, shifting from fiery reds and oranges in summer to deeper greens in winter. It's one of Yellowstone's top attractions, but don't get too close. This beauty is as deadly as it is stunning. Number 2. Mount Roraima, Venezuela. Mountains usually have rugged, unpredictable peaks, but Mount Roraima is a different beast entirely. Rising 9,219 feet into the sky, this flat-topped giant is straight-up otherworldly. Its summit spans 12 square miles, surrounded by sheer 1,300-foot vertical cliffs, making it look like something carved by ancient gods. Located at the borders of Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, Mount Roraima has been a sacred site for indigenous peoples for centuries. The Pemon and Capon tribes believe it to be the remains of a mighty tree that once held all the fruits and vegetables of the world. Its striking isolation has inspired legends and stories, including Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. And if you've seen Pixar's Up, you'll recognize its silhouette as the real-life inspiration for Paradise Falls. Despite its intimidating cliffs, Roraima is climbable. Adventurous hikers can trek through misty cloud forests, bizarre rock formations, and unique plant species found nowhere else on Earth. Number 1. Lake Retba, Senegal. Yes, pink lakes exist, and Lake Retba in Senegal is one of the most stunning. About 18 miles from Dakar, this body of water turns a bubblegum pink hue thanks to high salt levels that allow Dunaliella salina algae to thrive. These salt-loving microorganisms produce a red pigment to absorb sunlight, giving the lake its signature rosy tint. The effect is most striking during Senegal's dry season, November to June, when the water evaporates, intensifying the pink color. The lake isn't just a pretty sight, it's also an economic lifeline. Locals harvest its high salinity deposits, much like the Dead Sea, and fishermen navigate its hypersaline waters, though fish here grow only to a quarter of their normal size due to the extreme conditions. Surrounded by magenta-colored bushes and sand dunes, Lake Retba looks more like a giant strawberry milkshake than a natural lake. And yes, you can float effortlessly in its salty waters. Just don't expect to find any mermaids. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.